Hello everyone, welcome to the Adventures with Josh Vitols. I'm Josh, and today we're going to be visiting Fighterworld located next to the RAAF base at Williamtown. Let's see if we can have a chat to the General Manager and find out more about this historically significant museum. So who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, my name is Bernie Nebenfuhr and I'm the General Manager of Fighterworld Inc.
So how did this museum come into existence?
It started off as just a small collection of aircraft, just 3 initially, that were located as gate guards outside the pass office for RAAF Williamtown. And that small collection of 3 aircraft was outside and of course gathering dust. So a group of Air Force officers banded together and decided that they should do something a little more formal to house and maintain the aircraft. So they formed Fighterworld Incorporated, a not-for-profit association, and were able to get some grant funding as well as some private funds from a couple commercial type corporate sponsors. And the money was accumulated to build Hangar 1, the facility we're in now. And that was back in 1991, the building was completed. Yeah, so that's how we started.
So Bernie, could you give us a quick rundown on some of the impressive aircraft you have on display here?
It has some real significance for this area. We're primarily a fighter aircraft collection. But it is expanding, so I guess that the aircraft collection started as fighters, being a Meteor, a Vampire aircraft and also a Sabre, because we're right next door to the premier fighter base of Australia. So since that time, however, apart from the additional fighter aircraft that we've accumulated, because we're now representative of the greater region and I guess in that way represent other military aircraft operations. We've taken on some other aircraft that technically aren't fighters, like the F18, for example. It's been a popular draw card, and even though it has an F number at the beginning, it's technically not a fighter. But that came to the museum relatively late in the piece, just about 10 years ago, after we were already operating for 20 years. And in that initial 20-year period, we certainly accumulated one, I guess, great example of each of the premier fighter aircraft that the Air Force has operated since the Second World War. And they comprise, as I touched upon before, the gate guards were a Vampire, a Gloucester Meteor and a Sabre. And since then, of course, we've collected 2 Mirage aircraft from the Air Force, as well as the Hornet that's behind me right now. Yeah, and not to forget, of course, a couple crucial training aircraft as well. The Windshield aircraft right at the front of the hangar. That was not just forward air control, but also a part of the training aircraft that was used. In addition to the Mackie, the Aero Mackie that's located in the compound, and the PC-9, which was just delivered to us last year.
Are you a former RAAF pilot or have you flown an aircraft before?
Well, regrettably I'm not a pilot. I have flown a couple, but only for very short periods, yeah. I generally say that I fly a desk these days. But look, I've flown in a Tiger Moth and beat the controls for a little while. But no, I haven't been an Air Force pilot, so I can't lay claim to that. We do, however, have a couple of volunteers here at Fighterworld that were fighter jet pilots. So they're always very interesting to speak with and hear on some weekdays. But yeah, it's always fun still to get in an aircraft and go for a fly, but technically not a pilot.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
Yeah, I haven't. I've seen some great footage on YouTube. That's about all. But I have flown supersonic in one of these. Yeah, which not everybody gets a chance to do, yeah.
So Bernie, do you have any amazing flying stories to share with us?
Well, probably just that last one, where I was flying back with a fighter pilot from Townsville back here to Williamtown about 20 years ago. It was essentially a ferry flight where the aircraft had to be returned to Williamtown, and we did, as they say, punch through the number. Went Mach 1.1, just out of Singleton. Something you're not supposed to do too often, of course, because of the damage you can cause to buildings on the ground. But for a short space at altitude, we did go past the sound barrier, which was pretty terrific. Through scattered cloud too, so you really notice your speed when you're doing that. Look, apart from that, I've had some great things. I was lucky enough to fly in one of the best looking Tiger Moth aircraft at Luscantire, 85-year-old aircraft with an 85-year-old pilot in the cockpit, and had a little bit of a fly of that, but just a wonderful aircraft, and it just made me, I suppose, appreciate that open cockpit flying is really a special treat if you get the opportunity.
So with the success of Top Gun, if you were to have a call sign, what would it be?
Well, my school nickname was Nebo, so I'd probably call myself Nebo 1, if that's not too corny.
Thank you so much for your time today, Bernie. We really appreciate it.
No worries, you're welcome.
Well, there you have it. A brief look into what an incredible place Fighterworld is. Located not far from Newcastle, it's definitely worth a visit. Be sure to say hi to Bernie and his team, who are more than happy to give you a tour, or just come and check out the impressive collection of aircraft that's on display here and get up close and personal with an F18. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the Adventures with Josh of Vitols. Vitols 1.